Hello everybody, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith 676. Our total puzzles solved right now. And in the little area that we're in, we need 3 more puzzles to get Bricky done. And I certainly feel like I've improved a lot in the realm of Bricky lately. Okay, Bricky Precision 5. Right, well, we got some stuff to start with. This to there. That's got to come to there. And then, much like in a couple of previous puzzles, I think we're just going to have to find spots where we can't end because then the terminus would make process. Like this can't finish here. Well, if this is a bad example, but if this endpoint ended like that, we know we can't terminate pieces on those corners. But right now we don't have something specific to work with. We know this can't do that, but okay, that can't do that, so that has to carry on one. That's good. So that has to be a line. Then this is either going to go to here or here, which means that has to be a line. That has to come out to there. This cannot join up with that because of the wall. So this has to come down to here. Can't go to there because of that wall. Has to come to here and to there. Put a box around that. No. Oh. Wait, how did I get to this? Right. Oh, I know what I did. This can't be a line, so I did that. But I didn't realize that this can't have a line, so this has to get that. That has to come down. Can't go one over because that line can't exist. Okay, I'm with you. So then this can't sit alone. That has to take that. That can't be a line. That has to take those. Then this can take either that or that. We just don't know which yet, I think. Okay. These 3 have to all come to this tile to get out. Can't go to there, goes to there. That's got a box around it. We don't have any other... Oh, we do have a T-shape. So that needs to exist, but can't be part of this shape. And it can't be part of that shape either. So that exists separate. That has to go up. Could come over or go all the way to the top, but I'm going to carry on up here for a minute. So that has to come out to there. That has to come out to here. This is taking this or this. If it takes this, this could take that, but it can't because it can't do this. So that is taking this. That's taking that. Put a box around this. This has to exist because that line can't exist. Put a box around that. Then you have to come out. Then I don't know if you go across or down just yet, but if you go up, you have to take at least those. Can't do that, so that line must exist. And that can't exist, so that goes across. That gets a box. That gets a box. I'd say this is going nicely. And then we can look at this. That can't go anywhere else, so that has to go up to there, up to there. Can't do that. That has to come out to there. Now I'm getting kind of the aura that we need to start working up in the opposing direction, because I'm not sure where our next bit of logic is here. Actually, I am. We just look at this. That can't make a cross, so that has to exist there, which means this and this have to exist all together as one piece. We just don't know where the fifth piece of this goes. Okay, but that's nice. So this is getting either... Well, okay, hold on. Hold on. Can't take that because it leaves this stuck there. So that is a line. So is it going to be this or this? I think is the question. Well, whatever this is, whether it's this or this and this and this have to come out. Can't do that, so that has to be a line. Then there's kind of... That has to come up to here and come out. How are we filling this space without... while counting everything to 5 and not leaving a negative space in between? Because if this went 3, 4, 5, and that went 5, it leaves this. So... that could go... like that, but is there any other way to do this, or how else can all these things count to 5 without leaving negative space in here? Okay, well this can't do this, because then that leaves that one. So that does come up to here. I can find shift, so that consumes that, which means that consumes all of that. You can come down, but we don't know where you go thereafter. Tall. You have to come out to here. There's no bricky thoughts around here right now, so that gets us back down to this edge. What can we do with these? Well, you can do that or that, which means this and this and this and that all have to be part of a group. It just matters whether this is going to pick this up or one of these. It can't pick that up, so that has to be a line. Could it go to there? Feasibly? What else do we know? If this came to here, that would do that and have to come to there. That just seems like I'm reaching, and I don't like reaching anymore. We try not to do that where possible. This guy can't exist on both sides of that line, but that doesn't really help me much. You can go to there or there. Which means this is going to be a different color. That would be a different color than this. But that's not kind of super helpful, is it? So where's my next step? I feel like we got through most of this very cleanly. This is picking up either this or this, which means this has to be a different color. Which means this guy here, if that picks up that, this can pick up this and this. If this picks up that, then this has to pick up... Well, it could go that way. Couldn't it? But then that can't get out and divides all of this. Okay. Alright, I made a bit of a reach there, didn't I? So this cross became the problem. I think I had something good in... If this exists like this, then this has to get out to at least here. And that has to go to at least there. Basically, that cross there and that cross there feel like those are the ones to really be avoided. Which would mean kind of doing that. But we can't do that because then... There it is. Okay. Who knows where my brain trailed off to there to get that, but we did. 50 of 52. Oh, this just... my brain dislikes starting to engage with those so much. Let's take a few minutes to reassess this G shape. Because there can't be many ways that this can fit together, which is the tedious part for my brain. And I think they do have to fit together, right? But we obviously can't do this, and that's not even the right shape. Those are the right shape. But we obviously can't have that at the bottom. So this is, with them intertwined, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 4 with the corners chopped off. So where else can we fit a 5 by 4? Here. Five by 4. But that doesn't work. Four by 5, with the corners chopped off, but they're offset by 1. So I can't, my brain can't slide this over in my head the way I want it to. If that was this, then this is going to go like that. I think I've done that before. And that ends up with the problem of the top left corner not working out, right? Because you end up with that. Can I flip this? So instead, it will go up, over, down, and across. And this will go over, down, over, up, and across. Is that the way to do it? Nope. And I can't bump this shape. Let's just... Are these correct? They are correct, but I can't have that come onto that corner. If I push this whole thing upwards, I'm going to have a problem in the bottom left corner, right? I just don't know what else. Okay, challenge your main assumption here. This business of this could have could I make I want to be able to like draw the whole thing out. If this were 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, with the void here, can I flip this to a single square and then have this come out as 1, 2, 3, and then go up and across? My brain can't do it. I'm going to get a photo editor up a second because let my brain pass this. All right, here's what my brain's not been able to do. So I've been making this shape and having problems. But what if I could make this shape and have solutions, maybe? So I just have to figure out how to do that in the grid. So obviously it could be flipped of that, but it would be... Or sometimes you just have to pull it over into a image manipulator so that you can let it do the visualization instead of you. Because I knew there was something there for it to do. But we got it, and I'm glad. Right, so there's you there are one of those. You are also one of those. There's this 6 here. Is there anything else, or is the remainder of this video going to be slowly and methodically working through that 6? Which is probably a good, like, capstone for this area, honestly. I don't see any others hidden in dark corners or mysterious edges. Yeah, that's you. Oh. Well. Hopefully this won't be too hard for a 3. Shape bank, bricky, polyomino. Interesting. Where do we begin? Is a fantastic question. Honestly, this is just me colouring in, as ever. Okay, get away from colouring in. Find some line to start with. But what? This can't do this. which means this probably either... Okay, that can't do that because this can't exist. But I don't see where I have like a definite thing to start with. Because I can, if it was just 2s and 3s, I would know that that had to come out to there, and then that would have to come out to there or something. But because I can have 1s, I don't know where to start. Okay. I found a start. This can't do this because that makes that. So this must go up. There's a start. Then this can't come down. Okay, I'm seeing it. So that must go across. Box. That can't go left because of that. Then what next? That can't go down because of this. That can't go left. Wait. Oh. No, wait. How? You can't go left, you have to go up. You can't come down, you have to go right. You can't go left. You have to go down. You can't go down. You have to go up. You have to go left. That breaks everything. Because that can't exist. How did I get there? Right, that can't happen. That must be. That can't happen. That must be. That can't happen. That must be. That can't happen. Oh, maybe that can happen. That's probably what I missed. Okay, well, let's start with what we do know. That can't do that. So you're going either up or to the right, which means this line exists. You can't go left, which means that line must exist. You can't go down, which means that line must exist, which means that must cover that line there. Might be a 3. Has to be a 3 because that can't exist either. That has to be a domino to stop that crossing. That has to be a domino to stop that crossing. Now we're getting to some places. Just fill in the rest. Just fill in the rest. That can't go left. So that must be a line. That can't go down. Alright. That one wasn't so bad. It was just hiding really tightly in there somewhere. Is that you? Yeah. Right, let's try this 6. 16. Shape bank. All regions must be one of these shapes. Bricky. Okay, well, for a start, that can't be that. So enjoy being 4x4. This must be a single one. There's no other shape that can make that work. Which means that is a 4x4. And that has to be at least that long to stop any crosses existing. And it can't be a 4x4 because it's not wide enough. So that is a 3x3. So far, so smooth. Now, it's difficulty 6, so I feel like if our start is this simple, it must get a lot more difficult somewhere down the line. But right now, that exists as a 1 in the gap, which means that has to be a 2x2. Then we could hypothetically have a 1x1 and a 1x1 before a 2x2. So that is ambiguous. This can't be a 2x2 because a 1 on a 1 would break that. So I think that has to be a 2x2. That has to be a 1. Then that has to be a 2x2. That has to be a 1. Then we could hypothetically do a pair of 1s and then a 3x3. So going downwards is another instance where we could do 1, 1, 1 and then a 3x3. But this is kind of going off vibes more than anything else. And I've just seen something that I can work with a second. So stop going off vibes and go off this 3x3 here having to exist. And then that has to be a 1. Can't be more 1x1s, so that has to be a 2. Then hypothetically we should be able to fill in this gap without any knowledge from the rest of the puzzle because it's all just a closed system of edges. So let's try and figure that out. This can't do this. And this can't do this. My brain just wants to start coloring. Well, I'm happy with that. So now we have to figure out the rest. Now, this kind of feels like where the puzzle really starts, because I don't know that I have anything else that isn't just given to me really plainly on a plate from this starter and this starter. So we have bottom left, top center, and middle to have choices from. Where do we go? Where do we go? This is obviously... Well, this whole thing past this line is symmetrical. But I've got no idea if filling out that symmetrically would then lead to the rest of this being filled out symmetrically. Here's something to think about. This section here could be that rather than the use of a 4x4, which is annoying because I was hoping I could think about where a 4x4 would have to exist in either this configuration or this configuration, which would give me a lot of kind of starting material. But that's not true. That can't do that. Does that help me a lot? I don't know. Yeah, this feels like it's really where the puzzle begins. I just need a piece of logic to go with, and I don't have any cross lines or brickies to break me out of that. And so then my brain just wants to go like, okay, well, what if this is a 3x3 and that's a 1 and a 1 and this is a 1 and this is a 2 and that's a 2 and that's a 2, but like I'm just coloring and that's not helpful, you know? I'm gonna keep coloring and either I get there correctly on the very first time or I struggle a lot. I don't know how to feel about this. But hey, we solved it. Oh, it's so dumb. Maybe there's like some thing in the back of my brain that saw something that I couldn't articulate, but either way, We finished Bricky 52 plus 1. Since coming back from my little hiatus, I feel like I'm solving puzzles in a much better, more methodical way than I had been in these new zones previously. But now, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.